It's finally here. Football Manager 2018 beta has dropped. Recording this Thursday evening. It is gone 9 o'clock at night. It took a long time to actually download it. It took, probably over an hour. But I have my hands on the beta at long last. So here is the start of my first FM18 series with Liverpool. Welcome back to the Force9's YouTube channel and welcome to Football Manager 2018. The beta has finally dropped and we are going to jump straight into our career with Liverpool. Before we start, we're going to jump into the preferences and see what I need to change to make the game a bit more friendly for me. So let's do that. So the match sounds are off so you won't hear the crowd. The background music is off. It's a good song but I don't want to be hearing it every single time. Key highlights are on. Going to our interface, sidebar icons only is ticked. The rest of this I think is fine. We can show screen IDs and the total bar to assist with skinning, so I'll be getting those in very soon, but for now we're going to leave it as it is. By the next episode I will have face packs and whatnot from FM17 until sorted out SI have the ones for 18. Okay, so match, I'm undecided if I want to stick with 2D or go to 3D this year because it looks a lot better, so I'm not decided if I want to do that or not, but the rest of this I'm fine with for now. Formats, I don't really need to do anything here, I don't think. They've tried to sort of create my face. It somewhat worked, but the light makes my face a bit pale. So I've done the best I can with that, but I'm not too fussed about that. It's something that's been in the game for I think last year was the first time it was introduced. We're going to manage Liverpool. We've got no badges yet, apart from Everton. Oh, Everton aren't on there now. They were on there last year. But Watford, the only team that has the badge because they're affiliated with Football Manager. But we're managing Liverpool. Let's go into an advanced setup and then we'll get a bunch of leagues loaded and a bunch of players. And then we'll get into the actual save itself. Okay, so as far as the database goes, it's a large database. I think that's all. I always try and go for a large one. I've got all international players around the world as well as players from top clubs in the continent, top division clubs, players with national reputation and a continental reputation. So about 118,000 players, as well as with the nations that I've loaded. There's about 13, I think there are here. We've got the top 8 in Europe, as well as like Netherlands, Ukraine and Scotland. In England, I've gone to the Conference North and South, and then I've got Argentina, Brazil, and the USA in there as well. Okay, so down here, the only thing I've got ticked here is not adding key staff and preventing use of the in-game editor, just so you know there's no cheating involved here. I sometimes disable attribute masking, but we're not going to do that with this save. I wish it was something you could turn on and off, because I do find that once I've actually finished a save, I like to simulate in the future, and you seem to forget all about your players, which doesn't really make sense, but that's just a little thing. But otherwise, not a lot's changed here so far. We're starting as Liverpool. Let's start the game, and we should jump into the save. If you're excited for a brand new year of Football Manager content, then don't forget to leave a like, leave comments, and if you want to see videos as and when it's up on YouTube, do hit that subscribe button. I want this to be my best year yet. Last year started off really well, but it tailed off a bit, so this year I want to keep it going all year round, and I want to try and make this the biggest year on my channel so far. In the description, you'll find links to the FM17 faces and kits and whatnot, but once the 18 one comes out, then I'll be linking to those. There's also a link to my Twitter. There's also a link to a Football Manager Discord, which isn't as active as it was before, but hopefully it will start up again with the new game. And also there is a link to my Twitch. I'm going to be streaming Football Manager a lot more this year. I did my first streams a couple of weeks ago on FM17, and I really enjoyed them. So I want to try and do a bit more streaming this year. Okay, it's all loaded, so now I guess we have to do our attributes and that. So they've not done a bad job with my face. It's a bit pale, but I will give them the benefit of the doubt. So we're going to use this profile. Now, attribute-wise, our badges and our past playing experience is suggested based on who we are, so that's fine. We're going to put the adaptability down to 1, seeing as this is a 1 club save. In terms of the coaching attributes, the goalkeeping attributes are a bit more widespread. Now they're divided into distribution, handling, and shot stopping. But I'm pretty happy with this, I think. Let's just put these down to like, I don't know, I'm just going to leave these as they are. It's the first save, so I'm not really sure. In fact, let's go for a motivator focus, and let's see. So adaptability is down to 1. I think we'll just leave this as it is. I think this is fine. Mental's right up to 19. yeah, let's just go for a motivator, I'm guessing, but let's do it. Start playing. Now, part of the reason I'm doing Liverpool is it's the team that I support, so, you know, it's a no-brainer, really. I haven't managed Liverpool on this channel yet. I managed them on an old channel that was on FM 2014. Won the league in my third season. I signed guys like Morata. I signed a Matuidi. I signed a Scottish guy called Suter, who was a bit of a wonder kid back then. But another reason that I'm doing Liverpool this year is that it's their 125th anniversary. So, yeah, that's the other reason for doing Liverpool, just because, you know, they've got a big milestone. So Andy Force 9 takes charge of Liverpool. I put them as my favourite team as well, so there's that. Welcome to Liverpool. Here we go. A meeting with Chairman Tom Werner. Let's just attend this straight away. Hi Andy, welcome to the Reds. I'd like to take a few minutes of your time to welcome you to the club before handing over to your assistant manager who's going to discuss staff responsibilities with you. Yeah, we know all this. It looks the same so far. I mean, it looks much, much prettier. You know, the edges are all rounded. It looks much, much prettier. In terms of all this text though, you know, it's going to be pretty much the same. You know, it's press conferences, you've seen one, you've seen them all really. So I think some of that's going to be the same, but you know, there's some huge new things in here. Dynamics, for example, is that one there. You've got the medical centre, which is new. The under-23s and the under-19s are a bit lower down than they were before. There's the button to report the bug, because this is the beta. What's this 14 mean? So it's the number of days until our next game. We've got a friendly against MTK Budapest. Philosophy is play possession football, playing attacking football, sign young players for the first team, and develop players using the club's youth system. A lot of philosophies to kick off with, but it's Liverpool. That's got to be expected. I'm happy with that for now. I guess after a while, if we want to remove one or two of those, we can. Meet the journalists, and then we'll have a meeting later on with our assistant coach. So there's that so far. Any transfer targets? No, but I'm sure Virgil van Dijk will end up on there at some point. I'm not going to sign Van Dijk just because I think that, you know, I'm not the only person managing Liverpool. I feel like I'm not going to be the only one to go for him. So we won't be signing Van Dijk. I'm going to try and sign a few players sort of out of left field, players I've never signed before, things like that. I don't want to go for the basic wonder kids that everyone goes for. I want to try and be a bit different. The future transfer of Naby Keita is in the game, so next season he will be joining from Leipzig for £62 million. There's about a dozen players out on loan at the moment, including Divock Origi at Wolfsburg, Alan the Brazilian is at Limassol, Shea Ojo's at Fulham. Injury update. Nathaniel Klein is out for 5 to 6 months with a damaged spine. So we will be looking to Trent Alexander-Arnold at right back. Maybe Joe Gomez, but he might play as centre back because I'm not having Lovren in my team. So I think we might have to try and sign a right back. That might be one place to go. Adam Lallana's out for 3 to 4 months with a torn thigh muscle, and Daniel Sturridge is injured. Surprise, surprise. A pulled thigh keeps him out for 4 to 7 weeks. It actually tells you what sort of treatment they're getting as well, which is new. So it tells you that Klein and Lallana are being treated by a specialist. Daniel Sturridge is being treated by a physio. So I guess if someone's got a cold, then treatment will say sent home or something like that. Recurring injuries. Daniel Sturridge, a thigh strain and a hip injury. I guess that's how many injuries he's had. I don't know. That's kind of different as well. Responsibilities. I've already looked at this before I started the save. The opposition instructions are being handled by the assistant manager. And the youth training is not being handled by me either. Background Liverpool, I know about this, but just for the benefit of you. 5 European Cups, 1977, 1978, 1981, 1984 and 2005. 18 Premier Divisions, the last one being in 1990. Actually, we'll say it if I go on the number, won't it? Did I get it right? I did get it right. Good. I would have been embarrassing if I got that wrong. So yeah, 18 Premier League titles, the last one being in 1990, just a few months before I was born. So I've never in my lifetime seen Liverpool in the league, and I want to badly. 3 European Cups, Euro Cups, including the 2001 UEFA Cup when they won the treble. 3 Super Cups, 4 FA Cups, 4 Championships, 8 League Cups. I refuse to call it the Carabao Cup. There's a stupid name. And 15 Community Shields. Kirkby Academy, the youth facilities, 4-star, excellent. And Melwood Training Ground, 4-star facilities there as well. Superb training facilities, excellent youth facilities. Also good junior coaching, established youth recruitment. That's all good. So the key for this video is just to work our way around the game and see what's new really. Next episode we will have a look at our squad in depth And we may get onto a, I don't know, pre-season friendly, I'm guessing, against MTK. We'll play that just so we see what the match engine is like. And then after that, we'll jump into the meat of the series and, you know, the first league game. So we'll play some pre-season friendlies off screen and get to the first league game, which I wonder who that's going to be against, actually. Let's see. That's not the where's schedule? That's a team report. Where is the calendar? Here it is. Schedule. So our first Premier League game is against Manchester United. Of course it is. Of course it is. We're starting off at Old Trafford. That's mad. Season expectations. We're expected to qualify for the Champions League. The only other thing we can change that to is to be a winner. So we'll have to go for that, because if we're not going to win the league in the first season, probably not anyway. We're expected to reach the FA Cup final as well, which is pretty mad. And a quarter-final of the Champions League. So very high expectations, really, apart from maybe a top 4 finish. I think that would be expected. FA Cup final, I mean, imagine if we got Man United in the 3rd round. That would be something we'd probably go out straight away, because I can never beat Man United on Football Manager. They're always the team that trips me up. And the Champions League, we're to get through our group, which I think is doable. Depends who we get, though. And then beat the last 16 as well. So quite high-end expectations. The transfer window's underway. The social feeds, we'll have a look at that. So this is there's not a lot on there at the moment. Steven Nzonzi is apparently a transfer target, as is Danilo Pereira. And Sergio Roberto, who is a right back, if I'm not mistaken. He can play right back. He can also play in midfield as well. So maybe not a bad place to look to start with. But we'll go through transfers at a later time. I think for now we'll just have a look around. Okay, so we have an introduction to squad dynamics. So 3 team leaders in the squad: Jordan Henderson, James Milner, and Adam Lallana, the big 3 team leaders. Highly influential players: Philippe Coutinho, Nathaniel Klein, Simon Mignolet, Dejan Lovren, Daniel Sturridge, and Radlar Klavan, strangely. I know he's an experienced defender, but he's only been at the club a year, so he's apparently experienced. And then you've got influential players: Emre Can, Wijnaldum, Firmino, Mohamed Salah, Mane, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Robertson, Matip, Ings, and Moreno. And then 5 other players who apparently aren't influential at all. So we're going to introduce ourselves to the squad right now, and we'll see what they're saying. Welcome, I'm pleased to see you in charge, and hope your reign is long and successful, says Jordan Henderson. I'm positive about our chances. I think we can qualify for the Champions League this season, and they all agree, so that's good. So already morale's on the up. Superb morale for Dejan Lovren, also Karius, Matip, Chan, and Salah as well. Sturridge also superb. So that's a good start. I like that. Good dressing room atmosphere. Managerial support is average. We've only just started out. The social groups. So you've got the core social group of the players that share same professionalism, been around the same amount of time. So all the English guys are in here. So you've got Henderson, Milner, and Lallana. You've got Coutinho, Klein, Mignolet, Sturridge, and Klavan. I don't know why they're white or yellow. I'm not sure what that's to do with. That doesn't really tell me a lot. And then the only player in other is Salah, which is a bit strange because I know he's just signed, but that tells me that he's having some problems in this game fitting in. I'm not sure if that's accurate or not. So the hierarchy, well, we looked at that. That's the overview. Match cohesion poor, but they haven't played a game together yet. Happiness. Also, I like this. So the morale overall is still there, but elsewhere it tells you everybody's satisfied with everything at the moment. So it'll tell you if people are satisfied with how many games they're getting, or the management of the team, how they're being treated at the club. So if they're having a move blocked, then that'll go down. Overall happiness as well. So that's good. Milner's delighted right now, so that's good. So dynamics is the one big thing they were talking about this year. That was the buzzword, and that's it. So there you go. It can play a big part, especially with all these influential players. If we're going to lose one of these team leaders, then one of these guys needs to make the step up, or we need to bring in a proper leader, like a person that can have a big influence on the team. With social groups as well. If Lovren or Markovic or someone goes, then maybe that social group needs to grow. There's only 3 people in there. So already we're seeing offers come in. Lazar Markovic is apparently off to Villarreal. They have made an offer. Potential value in excess of £6 million. 5.5 million up front. A little bonus if they win the Europa League. 20% profit from next sale. And a £37,500 a week wage contribution, which I think means that we'll still be paying half his wages even though he won't be at the club. So straight away, that's been rejected. Okay, so where else can we look then? We've looked at the social feeds, leagues in focus, this is all the same, so we won't need to look at that. You've got the squad here, which is there. We'll have an in-depth look at that next episode. Dynamics we looked at. A tactic, we can ask our assistant if they want to suggest a tactic. I think we'll go with, like a 4-1-2-3 sort of thing, I imagine, but we'll wait and see what happens with that. We've got the team report here. There's a leadership void in the squad, apparently. Low levels of aggression and commitment, and not the best in terms of jumping. You didn't need to tell me that. You should see our set pieces. Staff is more or less fine. We need a head physio, apparently. We'll have a look at that off screen. Training's all here, so the focus at the moment's balanced. Everyone's happy with training, but everyone's lacking fitness because they've just come back from holiday, I guess. The medical centre we've had a look at. There's a few different things there. The risk assessments. So it tells you if anyone's at risk of an injury, depending on how much they're training and stuff like that. Current injuries are there. Injury history. So that will tell you how many injuries there are, I guess, over the season, or it might be more longer term than that. And then a season summary, how many injuries a player's had, how much game time they've missed, and the percentage of the game time they've missed. So that's all a little bit different. Here's our schedule. We already looked at that. Our competitions are here. It tells you what you're in, what you're expected to get to in it, and if you are out, how you went out and who won it, I guess. Scouting. So the magnifying glass used to just be a player search, but now there is a whole thing for scouting. So where is the player search then? I guess that's somewhere else. I'll have to look at that. Okay, so in the players tab, player search is here, and then you've got a tab for your scouted players, your discard lists. Players on this list will not be recommended to you by scouts or agents. Removing a player from this list means a player may be recommended to you again. So say someone recommends Balotelli to us, we'll say, no, I'm not interested. I guess he'll be added to this list. And then recent players that we've recently looked at. So there's Naby Keita. And there's Sergio Roberto. Assignments. I know now that there is actually a thing where if you're looking for a specific position, say we were looking for a right back, you can have every single scout you have going out looking for right backs. You can set everybody to that one task. The shortlist is there. Knowledge is here. So this is how much knowledge we have around the world, but we're about 50% so far. So that's that. So the main scouting center is here. So for example, we've got Alex Iwobi here. We know 72% about the player. His rating is 81. Of course, this used to be a star rating, but it's now out of 100. Currently operates at a Premier Division level. So at the moment, current ability is 3-star. Potential could be 5-star. So, yeah, 81%, I guess. The club tab is the same as it was before. Previous possessions are there. Managers, captains, key player, hot prospects. That's all exactly the same. And I'm guessing all these are as well. Yeah. We've got the board tab, which looks identical. Finances look the same. And then strange that the under 23s and the under 18s are down here. Alright, I think before we go, we'll have the meeting with Zeljko Buvac. Do you know what? I've never known how to say his name. Honestly, I couldn't have told you what his name was. Not a very good Liverpool fan, am I? But, is it the guy that looks like Mickey Flanagan? Because there's one of Klopp's managers looks like him. Looks like Klopp himself. And then the other one looks like Mickey Flanagan. I'm sure you know who I mean. And of course, Steven Gerrard is the under 18s manager. That's in the game as well. 37 years old now. Spent all that time at Liverpool, and now he is managing the under 18s. And his managerial stats actually aren't bad at all. So that's cool. Anyway, that's going to do it for today. Thank you for watching. If you have enjoyed the video, if you're looking forward to a brand new year of FM content, if you're looking forward to the series, make sure you hit that like button, leave comments, and if you want to see videos as and when this is up on YouTube, do hit that subscribe button. And I'll be back very soon with episode 2, where we'll have an in-depth look at the squads, and we'll play a friendly. We'll have a look at the match engine, and I'm excited for a brand new year of Football Manager. But that's going to do it for today. Thank you very much for watching. See you soon. Goodbye.